think they go in the witness protection program. Some of them, okay, and I'm not sure where they go. I think they go underground. I think that they wiki links. I don't know where I don't know what the hell happens. I'm not sure if they work. I don't know what happens. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I can't. I don't know. But let's put it this way. We are not going to be one of them. We as a company and our agents will be professional. We will take care of people because they know when they're dealing with us, we will get to ourselves. We will get to. We're going to do it the right way. And if an agent calls us or our brokers or managers and we will get to the bottom of it, and because we expect the same in return. Don't think an agent won't call us and say, "What you got an agent that? Where are they?" I don't know, but we're going to find out. Because we don't want to be treated like that. You wouldn't want to be treated like that. Do unto others. This week. That's why we get a lot of deals done, and we want to treat. We're Rebate Realty. We don't talk it. We walk it for our clients. A lot of people say they're professional. They're that. We put up our money. We're a rebate company. We put up our money for buyers. You can say all you want about what you do for buyers. I know what we do for buyers. Huh. We walk the mile for our buyers. So, yes, just be professional. That's all. But time is of the essence for sure. You must go to application. You have time frames on these contracts. 5 days to apply for financing, 7 days, 3 days, whatever those days are on it. These are days on this contract. You apply. These are days that you put on there. They're there for a reason. You have certain days to get financing. You have to put those days down. There are financing days. That's what you have on the agreements. You have a certain amount of days to order home inspections. These days are critical. Very critical. This is where errors and omissions. This is where your lawsuits come into play. This is where your money will be taken away from you in your real estate commission. This is where your money is going to be earned. So, let's suppose we have 5 days to apply for financing. Okay, boom, we get them into financing. Now, we got to order our title. We got to order our termites. We got to order our home inspections. We got to get that ordered immediately. So as we get a home inspection, we have to order that. So we order that home inspection. We get that inspector in there as quickly as possible. We go through inspection. People ask the question, should the agent be at the home inspection? What's the answer?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Must be at the home inspection. Must be at the home inspection.
Statewide.
What?
Statewide, we must be there. It's important.
Critical. Now, once you get that and be at that home inspection and you get through the repair process and you write down the repairs, get that report back, whatever repairs you want to get done, get it to the seller, get the seller's agent as quickly as possible. There's a time frame on this. A handful of times in a year, thank goodness it's only on one hand, that an agent will go beyond its time. But it has happened. Only a few times, but it has happened. And when that does happen, guess what? The seller does not have to do the repairs. And when that happens, guess who's responsible? The agent. If the onus falls on the agent. Buyer calls for the repairs, but the agent has sat on it and waited too long to submit the report to the seller. The onus is on the agent.
What is the time frame?
Whatever was in that contract.
contract.
Typically it's 7 to 10 days. That report must be back to the seller. But I've seen it go beyond that. 1 day. 1 day. 1 day. And you know what the agent on the other end said? Had a bell and said, beep, too late. Our seller's not doing any. And the buyer says, I'm not buying it. The seller says, well, you gotta buy it because the home inspection is null and void. You have no out.
That was my next question. Can we have a contract fall through based upon repairs?
Yes, it all depends how you spell out the home inspection report. You can have a home inspection just basically for the good of the, in other words, you can call for no repairs, if you wanna call it that way. You can do a home inspection just for the sake of, for the buyer's, knowledge. Or you can have a home inspection saying, I want, you're gonna make it where the seller, has to do the repairs required. You can have the home inspection report stated any way you like, but whatever you do has to have a time frame upon it. So time is of the essence with that as well. Time is of the essence in all of your terms in this contract, because the time of the essence clause is in our contracts.
Right, but what I'm saying, based upon the home inspection, if the buyer say, I need the seller,
If it's
to repair
specified
this.
in the contract, remember, our home inspections can be worded for just that the home inspections being done. No, I'm just telling you that when some of the ways that we have the home inspection, we can have a buyer do a home inspection that they're not requiring the seller to do any repairs.
right,
We can have it done that way, or we can have a home inspection that we can
Contingent
require
upon-
contingent that we could have that this repairs to be done.
Okay, so we dictate the
We can
home
dictate that.
inspection before.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I see.
So the
I see.
buyer dictates that.
The buyer can dictate that, correct?
Okay, right. Okay, I see. Makes difference.
Yeah, so we can dictate that. Absolutely.
I thought we were going nilly-willy in and, they find something and then they have a discussion and an argument over it. That's what I wanted to find out. How do we...
Can we put that?
So the home inspection is contingent upon what the buyer wants to do with it.
Well, the buyer like today, I had a home inspection on one of my properties. It had 15 items. And out of the 15 items, I'm giving them back that I'm willing to do 13 and a half of those items. Actually 15, but some of the items I'm not gonna replace, I'm gonna repair. So I'm gonna give them what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do. And I'm gonna give it back to them. These are the things I'm gonna do on the home inspection. So now the buyer has the right to tell me, I want out of the deal. Or I'll accept your home inspection that I'm the seller in this particular case, and yes, I will do those. I will accept those repairs that you will do. So he gave it to me, and he just did the inspection yesterday. So he got that. The agent was very, very diligent and did it exactly the right way. And me as a seller went back to him the next day and said, these are the repairs that I will do virtually every repair on that list.
Okay, George. There's nowhere in our contract that I've seen where we have the stipulation in the contract regarding the home inspection. So where are we?
It's in there.
It's in there?
Oh, yes.
I gotta look at that again.
Yep, it's in there. And it's also in there that it's done for the sake of the buyer, and will not call for any repairs. Absolutely, just for the sake of for the knowledge of the buyer, not for any other reason for the knowledge, and not going to ask for any repairs, and not going to be contingent upon the inspection at all. Has no.
I've seen it with the investor deal that I have done. No inspection,
But in most
for-
cases, it will have teeth. The inspection will have teeth.
And it's in the contract.
It will have teeth, and then when it has teeth, we'll have a certain period of time that we must give that report back, whatever repair requires that we want them to do. And at that point, the seller then will have the right to make those repairs. And if the seller does decide to make all the repairs required, then the buyer is stuck.
I'm gonna look at that because that sounds like it's important.
So the agent then at that point has the right. Now in this case, what I did, the buyer has the right to walk on my home inspection, on their home inspection. They do have the right, because I did not get all the repairs, but most 95% of the repairs will be done. but they do have the right to not to accept it. They do have the right. That's the way that it's written. But time is of the essence. So in this case, I have countered. Now let's see what they do with that. They'll either accept my counter or they'll counter my counter. Next things that will be done is they at that time yesterday they had the termite done. Termite inspections will be ordered, appraisals will be ordered. Title was ordered. When title's ordered, they also go out there and they do the land surveys. Typically is when they do that with title.
When is title done? When
Title will be ordered immediately after contracts for.
Immediately.
Yeah, you'll pick a title company. Pick a title company. Now you want to talk to the buyer. You know, when you do the contract, if they don't have one, you have several choices of title that you want to use.
No, we actually give them the option of picking which one they want.
They always have a title. They always have a choice.
I mean,
Buyers always have the choice, and we know that we use 3 or 4 different title companies, and you know, ask who we typically use. Then you can, you know, there's 3 or 4 that we typically use. Whoever you're comfortable with.
The appraisals are done after the home inspection.
Yes. Yep. And you, on your log, something like this, you can even have a page. I like it on a piece of paper. I like hard copy, and you can also do it on your computer as well, taking notes on the transaction. What's taken place. Dates and times, dates and times, dates and times, dates and times, when you've talked to people, dates and times. Every time you talk to somebody, dates and times, dates and times.
Do we have a formal guideline?
I'm sorry.
Do we have
Guideline
a
for.
form of the buying process? This is when you do this, this is when you do this, the next stage, the next stage. Do we
No,
have
well,
one?
I have something of this, but I can make it even more formal than this.
Okay.
I think we talked about doing a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, PowerPoint
So,
presentations.
well,
Okay. A simple checklist would do. That would be nice.
When you, with the buyer, buyer's agents typically will not get a hold of, the bank will typically get a hold of the listing agent to get into the house. That's how it typically will work. Keep on top of your times. Now the time now, once you've gotten through this home inspection and the termite, and you've gotten through this, now the key of this is the financing, isn't it? So we got a time, you maybe have 45 days, and it's important that each and every week you talk to the bank. You pick a day that you want to talk to them, see how it's going, what's needed, what's in the process. Like yesterday, I talked to the bank to what's going. They got the appraisal in, and now everything is going. I think we're going to be submitting Tuesday. We have like 3 weeks for financing, so I know I'm in real good shape to get my approval. I don't need an extension. I'm good to go on that deal. Term rights are done, home inspections, everything's done on that deal. So far so good. That was a tough deal because it had well inspections, it had a lot of different inspections had to be done. That particular, it was a lot more inspections had to be done, but we did them all. I set them up all that day. I set up well inspections, I set up septic inspection, termite inspections, home inspections. Everything was inspected that day of the home inspection. I set everything up that day. So, knocked it all out that day.
question.
Now, all I had to do was worry about the financing.
I'm just sitting here thinking out of the box. I mean, I could see, a few of the, whatever inspections that we're doing, we have a few people coming in. I mean, I don't want a household full of different people coming in the house doing the inspection because they're going to be, overlapping one another. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, like you said, the termite inspector might come in, or whomever, like 2 or 3 different people, one day, or just at different times, I guess. Give them enough time to do their inspection, and then maybe have someone else come in and do another.
Well,
Do
we
you
did
do
it all
like
one
that?
day. It was it was wonderful to do it one day because we knocked it all out, and they all weren't all in each other.
Okay.
It took us 3 or 4 hours, and it was one after the other after the other.
Okay.
So it just happened. It was just an easier process to do it one day.
Okay.
For us, made it very simple. Whether you do it one day, you do it 2 days, it doesn't matter how you do it. Whichever convenient for the sellers and for the agent. Certainly, instead of going there 3 times, you went there one time. You knocked it all out.
Okay.
This is time. You got to work with schedules too. You want to. You got to be smart about yourself too. This is the beauty of running your business. Running your business means that you can call your own times. I set up these schedules. I set up was best for me.
9, 12, 1 o'clock. All 3. Knock them out. Boom.
And that's what it was. It was 10, 11, 12, 1, I think it was. I don't know how. Boom, boom, boom. I try to get it. I wish I could have gone, like 10 to 12 is what I was trying to do. They could go all on top of each other. Matter of fact, they were. I mean, it was not a big deal. It was perfect.
So we're not pushing when we are sitting literally on the bank or the lender every week. Call. Okay. What's the process going
Sometimes
on?
we are, depending on your lender. That's when you know you have a good lender or have a bad lender, or you have a buyer is slow on paperwork. That's why you're educating your buyer to help them along. That's why day one, when you're working with your buyer to get this buyer's work, and that's why I love working with people one-on-one, and you're close to them. If they need certain paperwork, we try to help them with their paperwork. If they need a lot of it, then we got to help them along with that. That's why agents that don't do their paperwork very well, they have deals that fall through, especially if you have buyers that need a little bit more help with paperwork. That's when I go list a lot of houses. A lot of sellers don't understand. You know what sellers do when we're fighting with listings. Sellers that list with properties, they list with agents who are listing agents, and they make the mistake of listing with listing agents, and they don't list with agents who are buyers agents. They should be looking at agents who have buyers versus agents who actually list properties. An actual agent who can sell a property is who sellers should be looking at, because let me tell you something. When they list a property, they don't worry about selling a house. They just put it on the market and go to the next property. But an actual person who can actually sell a property, they market a property and they get a buyer in there. You got to work like we're doing right now. You don't know what it takes sometimes to get a buyer through, and sometimes not all buyers are easy. You got to get paperwork. You got to get their tax returns. You got to go get something from the IRS or something from Social Security or their job or this, that, and the other. And sometimes buyers have a little lazy streak in them, and they don't do all the things that they say they're going to do. And you got to help them along. And somebody who works with buyers on a regular basis, they know the nuances of it, and they work with those buyers. And let me tell you something. Me, if I'm selling my house, I want somebody who can work with the buyer who's selling my house. I want somebody who can sell my house who can work with the buyer. So when I educate a seller in listing a house, they ought to be looking not at a listing agent. Some of the big-time listing agents, go list with those knuckleheads. You know what you're going to get when you list with them? An expired listing. Because you know what they do? They don't know how to work a buyer. All they know how to do is list a house. They're pretty boys. The pretty boys just list their houses. They can't sell them. They expect somebody else, multiple lists, to sell their houses. See, you get somebody who can actually work with the buyer. That's why when you go, a buyer's buyer's agent, if you can learn how to work with buyers, then you can become a strong listing agent as well. That's a complete agent. Learn to become a complete agent.